Hey, hey, how's everybody doing? Thank you for tuning in today. Okay, so quick note, this is the very first time I'm going live, and I am scared to death. um, but I will try not to take too much of everyone's time because I tend to be long winded, but here we go. So I gave myself a challenge this week, and what better way to challenge myself with a big bang at the beginning of the week on a Monday? And I decided to go live not just on my Instagram, but also on my Facebook. So thank you for everyone who tunes in tonight. And if not, that's cool. This will be one of many. I am planning to do more of these. So I'm just going to get right into it. So I had this idea to start going live to talk about different topics, whatever compels me to start talking about certain things and just practicing being vulnerable and sharing messages that I feel compelled to share. So as I'm making my way to becoming this person that I envision for myself and that I am working towards every day intentionally to become, I want to be that communicator, that person that isn't afraid to say something, isn't afraid to talk about certain things, whether it be taboo things or fun, random ideas, what have you. So today I had a message of, and I hope everyone can hear me. And if you can, give me a thumbs up. Uh, but today I was called to talk about this feeling of transition, if anybody resonates with that right now in their lives. And what I kind of titled it was Call to Act or Call to Action. And I don't know, I just like for me personally, I've been having epiphanies lately and aha moments, and I honestly don't think I would have had them if I hadn't of taken certain steps and and moves to place myself in those positions. And so I think, going into topic of today, I feel like maybe at this point, the the fall equinox just kicked in. It's Libra season, I'm feeling myself. But that's besides the point. What I'm trying to say is, we're actually in a season of transition, of new beginnings, of anything is possible, uh, endless possibilities to start something new, to reconnect back to something that you wanted to get back in touch with. And basically, I looked up what equinox means and whether it's the spring or the fall equinox. But basically, it's a time and place where the earth is in alignment with the sun, where it's like in balance. So there's a balance of day and night, light and dark, somewhat of an equilibrium, we can say. So it's basically just, getting in touch with those polar opposites, at least in my interpretation. You know, what scares us, but what excites us, what frustrates us, but what brings us joy, And I think just tying it all together, uh, I feel like maybe, and whoever feels bold enough to share or feels comfortable sharing, I feel like, this past year it's been going by fast, right? And for me, I had many moments where I felt like, you know, each day was going by and kind of going through the motions, like things feeling the same day in and day out, repetitive, maybe not as fulfilling, if some of you may resonate with that, or just feeling like you are called to do something more, or like something big, but you're like maybe scared or nervous, or not sure if that's something that's your inner voice or just what society expects you to do. But I challenge everybody to just sit with themselves and try to reconnect, try to connect to yourself, and just, if there's something inside where, like for me, for example, just to kind of make it a little bit, paint a picture a little bit, I feel like for myself, the last, I'd say, couple years, I've been on this healing journey where I feel like I've awakened to some things, but not everything, and I feel like there's always something that keeps nudging me, or something that's like, ooh, really go after this. But I always am like, no, I can't do this. It's too big. It's too big of a dream, too big of a risk, too big of a burden, I guess you could say, also in different ways. It's going to take too much time and effort, and I don't know if it would even work out, And just to give you a picture, some of those big dreams I've had or have is, you know being someone that shares their thoughts, is, self-expressive, who doesn't shy away from tough conversations that need to be had, just little things like this. And that can translate to like work, like wanting to step up, wanting to advance, wanting to do what it is that I want to do versus what society expects me to do, or what I feel like I need to do, like to provide for myself, because everybody, that is a necessity, but at the same time, it's like, I believe we weren't put here to work day in and day out at a job that doesn't fulfill us, and doesn't bring us that purpose, that meaning that we bring, um, that we want to contribute. And so that could also translate to our personal connections, who we spend the most time with. Are we spending time with people that uplift us, that want the best for us, that is rooting for us, to continue to grow, to continue to expand? Or are there people who are in a different state, different um, phase of awareness, where they're not so aware, they're not at that level to which they understand that they can grow, and they can expand, and they can make the most of every day. And hopefully I'm not going off topic, because I wrote a whole page of what I wanted to talk about, but yet again I'm going off script. But I feel like I feel like these are moments where, I can learn from, and not overthink, because I am an overthinker. anyways, yeah, so I feel like as I've been trying to explore, you know, these big questions that I feel like at certain points in our lives, no matter what age we are, they come and go in different uh, stages depending on the person. But I do think, like, for myself, I've always contemplated existence and why we're here. And I know this topic tends to be very woohoo for a lot of people, or like, oh, maybe not today on a Monday, Jay. Like, come on now. But it's something to think about, something to to explore, because we're at a time where there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of what's going to happen next. Has anybody noticed 2024? Like, we're in 2023 now, but with the state of our society, with everything going on. Yesterday, I was riding with my partner to support their brother. He started a new business. Shout out to the homie there. And that's also another topic I want to talk about. But we were going to like this little fair thing set up in a parking lot in San Antonio, and supporting local business. That's always a thing that I want to give back to. And I was like in this little sad sad phase or state where I was like, wow, just taking everything in of what I've been thinking about, but also, you know, construction, looking at buildings being built day in, day out, roads being built day in, day out, wildlife and trees being torn down and cut, and just like little things like this. I don't know if anybody else is that aware of everything, but I tend to be very uh, noticing the small things, the small details. And I just was like, wow, like all of this construction is not reversible. It's, once it's gone, it's gone. And with uh, the heating of the world, I've been having many thoughts of like, if we switch to electric cars, but we leave or we do away with like gas cars, like, would that even be, worth it? And just the ozone layer, everything like that. Anyways, I digress. And it's just, like little things like that where, yes, it might take another 50 years to see any kind of difference, but it's the little things that make the difference. And so, long story short, I wanted to just, just kind of have like a starter conversation about these things. And maybe this was totally random and off script, and I apologize. But um, yeah, I just getting back to what I originally was wanting to talk about, which is this calling, or this passion, this purpose that I feel all of us feel, but sometimes we tend to overlook it, or feel like it's not meant for us. Like, there's already people doing this, or there's already masterminds, there's already geniuses out there. If you're someone that tends to compare yourselves, I know I do, but I just, as we move forward and we think about how do we want to spend each day, it can be daunting and overwhelming, but it could also be very beautiful and fulfilling to to switch into that kind of mindset. Like, wow, how can I make the most of today? And if it's at the end of the day, how was my day? Like, what did I do that made it that much more special? Or in terms of relationships and people you're connected with, like how was their day? Or did I ask somebody like, hey, how are you doing? Like, what are you striving for? Like, what are some things that bring you joy? Like, just just intentionality, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at. Just having joy in each day, because it could be our last. Who knows? Nothing is guaranteed. um but I just thought I'd share that, because the thing that compelled me today to come on here was, one, I wanted to challenge myself, just to whether embarrass myself of not making any sense at all. This may not have resonated with anybody today, but hey, it's something that I did. It's something that I spent like a whole hour contemplating, and here, look, I'm here. I'm here for y'all, and I want to show up, and I want to have conversation and just be vulnerable with everybody else and with you, and I want to hear what you got going on in your life. If things are going great, like, that is amazing. If it's feeling stagnant, or kind of like every day's kind of mundane, like just going with the flow with the motions, then what can we do to realign and get you into something that will make you feel more alive, and if you're going through something very, very heavy or very painful, I also wanted to raise awareness of suicide prevention. This is September is Suicide Prevention Month, and I take that very seriously, for those who may be struggling at this time. And if you're anywhere on that spectrum, like, let's talk. Let's chat about things. Let's let's be able to have conversation again. Because I think one thing with the way life has been going, and coming out of COVID, and just past events that have happened, I think it created this sense of like fear of connecting, or reconnecting, and really putting yourself out there, and just finding what feels like a real community, someone or people who want the best interest for you and themselves. And so I feel like I'm kind of jumping around, but just this whole time, just trying to say what is coming to me. But I hope each of you are having a great start to your week. And if anything that I said today resonated, let me know. Shoot me a message, DM me, comment, leave a little hi on the in the chat, or the comments. Yeah, I want to start having these little gatherings, these little live sessions. Whether Monday, I'm definitely going to try to get on here Friday and have a little surprise for y'all at the end of it, like a little like after party type thing. Still in the works, okay, but no promises. But yeah, just trying to tap into that creativity, also for myself and whoever else is wanting that themselves. Let's do it. Let's start going after what it is that we want. Let's not live in fear anymore. Let's connect. Let's grow together. Let's find community and harmony, you know, with each other. Because let me tell you, this next these next few years are gonna be tough. They're gonna be uncertain, but at the same time, like with the equinox, right? Like when I first mentioned that at the beginning, there's always the opposite. It's going to be the most joyful, the most loving, the most revealing time of year. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what unfolds, and as things ebb and flow, why don't we make the most of it and really build ourselves up, build each other up, build others up, because I feel like that's what's calling all of us in our own way. So, you know, as I jump off, because I don't want to hold anybody up, I promised myself I'd stay within the hour, because yeah, long-winded here. I call to action, or you know what they say, like call to action, call to act people to really like give each other a challenge, you know, at the end of talks. So my challenge for you, if you want to accept it, don't have to, is to take, let's say 10 minutes of your day, whether it's tonight, whether it's tomorrow, and just jot down some things that have been speaking to you, speaking to your heart, on your mind, what you can't stop thinking about, whether it brings you joy, whether it brings you fulfillment, whether it brings you fear and frustration. What makes you angry? What makes you hopeful? Total opposites, right? But sometimes those polar opposites are the exact same thing that brings you purpose and fulfillment. Just like our brains can't tell if we're excited or if we're scared. You know what I'm saying? It's the exact same chemical reaction when you're like scared to give a speech or talk in front of people, or are excited to go on that roller coaster. It's that same visceral feeling, right? So again, what brings you hope? What makes you angry? What makes you want to go out and fix something, mend something, create something, invent something, recreate, reinvent, and jot that down. And the next thing, a few more minutes after that, jot down what are some things that hold you back. What are some things that your inner self or your inner voice tells you, oh, you can't do that. No. What? You want that? No, that's not possible. What are you talking about, Willis? That is not you. No. Somebody else is doing that. Why waste your time? You're better off doing that, you know? Or things that really scare you. Like, you know, you want to do it, and you're like, I can totally see myself doing it and feeling the most alive, but I'm like scared to death. For some people, it could be like jumping out of an airplane and skydiving. I'm like, nope, Definitely not for me. But never say never. Or it could be like giving a presentation or being this awesome communicator and like connecting different kinds of people. And but you're like, where do I start? I don't even know. I don't know how to talk to a group of people or start a conversation. That's me. You know, or just like wanting to be your real self, your authentic you. But you're just like, I am too random. I am too weird. I'm too quirky. Like, nobody's gonna like that. But let them, let them do what they want to do. Let them think what they want to think. Let them judge you because they're going to judge you whether you do something or you don't do something. Am I right? And that's what I've really had to tell myself in all those moments that I'm like, no, I can't do this. So yeah. And then the very last thing, I promise, the very last thing, shoot me a message and tell me what you did in that challenge, like what you challenged yourself to do. Actually, that was, sorry. See, little messed up moment. Okay, so after, let's go rewind. So after you write down what what stirs you up inside, whether with happiness and like fulfillment or frustration and pain and anger. And then after you do that, ask yourself, what scares you, what holds you back, what makes you not do or follow up or follow through with that. And then the third thing is write down one thing that you can do every day this week to challenge yourself, to get you closer to what you want to do or what you want to become or what you want to embody and be each day. That future self, that future contribution that you want to give to the world, that future person that has this gift of going after what they want and making it happen. Just examples. Or it could be, whether big or small, like doing something little each day to pour back into yourself, to make you feel safe, secure, stable, you know? So challenge yourself. One challenge every day. Then the last thing, I got ahead of myself. I always do. The last thing, I promise, is to message me on, now it makes sense, what you did, how you did. If you hit some roadblocks, you know, if you struggled and was like, I just couldn't do it. Okay, that's fine. What can we do to help that next time, that next day? I feel like you don't truly fail unless you don't truly try. So in trial and error, taking one step forward, one step back, you're really just growing and moving on up, even if it doesn't seem like that. So yeah, I hope this was fun. I was so nervous, and I promise I'll get out of y'all's hair now in the next few minutes, but closing out. Yeah, it's breakthrough time. It's time for a breakthrough. And yeah, I just was compelled to come on here to give that message and to scare myself into doing something. So I'm with you in this journey, if it resonates with you, obviously. But thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time to listen in, and feel free to share whatever resonated with you, whatever stuck out to you, your thoughts, what you want to talk about next time, or what you want to talk about after this. Um, I am all ears. And honestly, I want to know your story. I want to know what lights you up. I want to know what frustrates you. What is something that's missing in this world? What's something that you've been wanting to do to like reinvent things, mix things up? So yeah, let me know. And I hope y'all have a great rest of your Monday. I hope it was a great day today. And a kickstart to your week, and going into this week with that shift in that mindset of, okay, I'm going to take on this week. I'm going to make things happen. Even if I fail, or not fail, even if I mess up, even if I make a mistake, even if I didn't feel comfortable that day, there's always the next day. There's always that next hour. There's always that next minute. So before I go on and on, thank you. Thank you. And I will see you on the next one. Wow, I can't believe I did it. Woo! Yeah. Have a great night, y'all. Stay tuned, and I will see you very, very soon.